every athlete, every person, every human being has an opportunity. Some opportunities don't come when you want them. But if you're prepared, good opportunities can happen. Always be ready, because you never know when your number is gonna get called.
I'm not coming back.
Emiy Apparel. Encourage me. I'm young.
Calvin T. Mann, leading Emiy, served over 20,000 youth through speaking, coaching, and mentoring. He has inspired us for years. Welcome to Emiy TV Podcast with your host, Calvin T. Mann, the Encourager.
Welcome one and all. Welcome to this day. Today, a great day, a day to be celebratory, a great day to pontificate, I guess I should say. That's one should say. Today is a great day. Welcome to Emiy TV, Put Your Family First podcast, award-winning podcast, and as we continue to share information, facts, love, care for the family. Plenty of information. We 3 years deep. How about that?
Wow.
Right. We're 3 years deep with the podcast, and of course, as everything else out there, it comes with a price. But value. Today is about value and what value looks like and how you can build value for family. And really excited about today. Heather, honey, how you guys doing today?
Great. Yeah, good.
Yes. So before we get into this, right, we've been hearing this word, collaboration, right? People say, collaborate. We're looking for collaborations. They're going to have to prove that one, right? Because let me just talk about a few collaborations if I can. Can I? Do I get a second? Before you get into the what, the when, the where, why, and the how, and who.
Yes, of course.
So, first collaboration. Hear ye. The very first collaboration was collaborating with friends and family and building the Better Detroit Youth Movement. We're talking 2006, 2007, right? 2008. During that time, being a part of, shout out to the family over at Better Detroit Youth Movement, Jay, Renee, and the whole crew, right? We did some incredible things. Young people were in charge. Jay and those guys were getting it done. They did scholarship fairs, huge scholarship fairs, like never been seen around here. We did art parties. They say collaboration, right? We did art parties. We did school walk-ins. We did talking to schools on the stage. We did all of that. Highland Park, all of that, right? They say, well, okay, collaboration, right? We go further down the line. I partnered with a whole football team on the east side. We had 350 boys, 2010, right? But people talk about collaboration as if that has not been done. right? So we heard collaboration. That's 2010, 2011. Wait a minute. So collaboration is supposed to be this new thing. No, what it is, and I don't want to really, call it out like what it really is, but it's selective collaboration. So we go through the process, 2010, 2011, collaboration. 2012, after we lose the church, which was another collaboration, right? With the Chosen One Real Recreation. That was a collaboration with a church, right? Where we had the 350 boys. Greed was in the way because nobody from the church came and helped. We did, we collaborated with several organizations over there in the park in 2008 where we did the Youth March, the Emiy Youth March, where we took what was left over from that and sent that to Africa. That's 2008, right? We gave massages. We pulled up, right? We partnered in with Herman Kiefer, Focus Hope. Collaboration, right? We did the Emiy Youth March. Kids marched around, what's that park on the east side? Right there behind the Light Guard Armory.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Right, so that's where we were, right? Collaboration. We hook up with Rosedale Park Baptist Church, collaborate with Rodney. Our relationship flourished. We go 6 straight years, 200 boys. And we collaborated and put on the first ever man-to-man youth summit and collaborated with Otis Bellinger and his squad. We collaborated with, who else was out there? My man, I can't think of his name right now. I'm lost for words, but it was about 4 other agencies, plus Beverly Green and Andrea, and we had Men Lock In. We talk about collaboration, right? We had Men Lock In. At that time, my man was with, I think, Ceasefire on the east side and was helping getting gangs out the whole nine. All these men came in, we locked in. Reverend Johnson from the Paul Robeson Academy. Collaboration. They said, we want y'all to collaborate. We really out here looking for collaboration. No, you're not. Because collaboration has been our thing because of the restoration of family. We collaborated with Amazing Woman, which we'll get to. We've collaborated with, we collaborate. NABWIC.
Yeah.
National Association of Black Women in Construction. Right? So when we talk about collaboration, that's what we've done. So today, I'm going to let Heather do her thing. But again, this is a collaboration, and we didn't ask for permission. We decided that we was going to work and do what we have to do. So at that point, you can do your thing.
Well, thank you.
I think I got that collaboration off my chest. A number of collaborations. Wow. Isn't that something? Isn't that a history?
Indeed.
Okay.
You know, I'm always taken back by the terms that are trending. If you're often not on the front end of when those terms are trending, so if you're not at the conference and you're not at the meeting and you're not at the origin of a lot of these terms, you get that information later. And by the time you get the information or that it trickles down, it's been used, and it's almost like the resources has already been used, and you're kind of at the end of the trend. That has always been surprising to me to uncover that if you were not at the right place at the right time, you may have missed information. And they've moved on to something new in terms of the new terminology that's trending. And so I think that's a little bit interesting in how we look at wellness through collaboration. And that really is kind of how I want to frame our conversation today, is wellness through collaboration. So I want to talk about what collaboration is. I have a couple of definitions I want to go over. And then I want to talk about why collaboration is important to our wellness. And then I want to kind of wrap up with us talking about some of the things that we have in our pipeline right now in terms of Encourage Me, I'm Young, Good Fathers Only, Your Inspired Journey, and some of the collaborations that we have right now that are amazing collaborations with amazing people doing amazing things. So I think one of the important opportunities for us to select a lens to see collaboration, one of those first lenses I kind of want to look through is that it is a connection that makes sense. So how do you connect with somebody in a collaboration? One of the ways that we do that is we look at what's missing in your strategy and then try to find others who are already doing that work. So you don't have to recreate the wheel. What you do is you make a connection with someone who does it and does it well. That's part of how we build collaborations. That's part of what we look for when we talk about collaborations. The second lens that we look through is, what is our common language? Do we have the same vision, understanding, and definition of the terms that define how we work together? And we use a memorandum of understanding, or MOU, to outline what that looks like and how we have a shared understanding of the terms. Because sometimes when people say family, you may see family different depending on the lens that you're looking from, or the work that you do. You may see family as different. For us, as we look at that and we highlight what that means, we come to a common ground on our understanding of what it means and how we define it. I think that's a really important lens to use. Making sure that you're defining your shared goals and ideas and expectations in a way that everybody is on the same page, because it helps later as you move down the road in this work you do together, when you have a clear understanding and definition of what are your shared ideas, expectations, and values. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about some definitions that I found for collaboration. So the first one talks about the action of working with someone to produce or create something. That's pretty basic. That's pretty simple. The action, meaning it requires action, to work with someone to produce or create something. Huge. It seems such a small thing, but we do it all the time, every day. We just may not use the term collaboration to describe it or define it. Excuse me. The second definition.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
I can take over, baby, if you need me to.
It's a sneeze. I appreciate the blessing. Thank you.
All right.
A sneeze and you fall all apart? Okay. So the second is holding an intention for an expected outcome when working together with others. That includes organizations, businesses, or whomever is on the same plane with you on the same project or the same work. A large part of that collaboration is the ability to hold the intention for the expected outcome. That's so important to the process. And the third one is about acting on one accord to accomplish a task. What that one accord is the work that you do, your expertise that you bring to the table, how we get it done. We may not be equipped with all of the tools, all of the information, all of the knowledge, all of the pieces that need to be at the table. But through your collaborations, you begin to pull in those things that you need. You pull in those people who have impact and influence on what you're trying to achieve and accomplish. I am certain that when funders or people who are making these types of decisions about who they support, when they look at collaboration, I'm sure that is what they have in mind. People who work together toward a desired end. But I think that the people who are in that collaboration may have the best lens as to who they connect with, because your values have to line up, your expectations have to line up, and your sense of building trust has to line up. And so I think once a collaborative is able to show and demonstrate that, and they have a expected end, I think they have the best opportunity to take advantage of the resources that should be there in place to help support that collaboration. So the next thing I want us to talk about is why collaboration is important to our wellness. And Calvin, you can take some of these points with me. It's on your other side.
Take some of these points with you.
You can take the first one.
Sorry, I had a German moment for a second. Collaboration paves the way for breakthroughs that enhance the overall quality of care, making a significant impact on the well-being of individuals and communities.
So when we look at how it paves the way, that means it paves the way for breakthroughs. Can you imagine that? That by coming together, we have major breakthroughs. And I know I've seen this time and time in the communities that I grew up in, because that was one of the opportunities that we had in the village that we grew up in. And lots of us can talk and speak to the village that we grew up in. Now today, we have to really redirect what the village looks like, because our kids are suffering from the lack of a village. That means other people who are looking out for them, holding them accountable and responsible for their behavior, and lifting them up, not constantly criticizing and pull up your pants and you're not supposed to be smoking. And, some of the things that we criticize our kids about are the very things that we do. So maybe your pants are not sagging, but maybe what you're showing instead of your pants sagging equals that in their minds. How about that? Because now we have so many of our mothers and grandmothers competing with the grandkids and the daughters for the attention or showing themselves in a way that is not in alignment with their
for the
age.
Just said for the same man.
I said age appropriate. There is such a thing as age appropriate behavior. How you carry yourself. And we know those things go back to your values. And it's not about a judgment. It is about an expectation. You can't put forth an expectation on a young person, and you don't have an expectation for yourself.
What's the next one?
The next one is collaboration enables teams or groups to do their best work and is an essential component for problem solving and decision making. But also, successful collaboration leverages a perspective, builds trust, empowerment, and creates new avenues for communication.
So let me say this. I've been collaborating before you, right? Before you got back involved, right, with encouragement, I collaborated with Crystal Gunn, who's at the table right now again.
Don't reveal the secrets yet.
It's on the flyer. It's out there. So
stay with the script.
But okay, go ahead.
So I don't want to just gloss over this information, because we're talking about how collaboration is important to wellness. So the lack of it can cause additional stress on people who carry a lot of the weight. Like Calvin, you carry a lot of the impact of our community and our culture and our young people. You really are on this front line doing this work. And part of our community collaboration, our community voice, is to step with you to make sure, if nothing else, you have people aligned with you, that you have the resources that you need to help continue to do this work.
Well,
we can collaborate as an individual supporting a work, supporting a person that's out there doing what's important and also doing what we are not doing, or that is not within our expertise, or that we fail to step up with. It's important. Collaboration really is how we view making progress, how we view that.
You can't have an ego in collaboration. You can have an opinion, you can have an input, you can have an idea. But collaboration, you can't have an ego, because having that really disrupts the process. It's like I told you, at some point when we open this up and start pulling people publicly in, they're going to come in flying with their ideas, their concepts, their whole nine, what they think and what they want to do, right? But a collaboration has an agenda, it has a direction, it has, right, and it has, toward an actual outcome, right? And, I'm very grateful for the experience that I had early on, because I didn't have any nonprofit experience, right? We met daily, right, to build that, right? And so in order for us to get to where we're headed, this collaboration is going to take some real work. But go ahead.
And the value. So the next point that we're going to talk about is really how trust. We look at collaboration as a family. So we looked at it as an organization. We looked at it as a community. But now let's look through the lens of collaboration as a family. So that's our third bullet, Kellen. And our families, if we remember in practice, they talk about the 6 R's. That's respect, responsiveness, reassurance, relationship, reciprocity, and reflection. I'm going to give those again. The 6 R's: respect, responsiveness, reassurance, relationship, reciprocity, and reflection. These are some of the ways that we can build trust within our families and promote positive engagement with one another. That's positive communication. If we have the tools that we need to rebuild our families, to look through a lens of collaboration, even when it comes to our families, how we work together, how we build trust, it's essential to where we go from here, where we go in the future of our children, our grandchildren, and those that come after them. We have to start this mindset shift now. When we look at and think about collaboration, it's one thing, again, to think of it on all these other levels, but where it's important to have collaboration is within your family, because that's the first village that you encounter. That's the first village that has all the values and the essential ingredients that a person needs to flourish in this world. In order to be good with your outside partners, with your workplace, with your teammates, whether you're in sports, whatever it is that you do outside of your space, your clique, your crew, those things that you do outside of that, there are opportunities, constantly opportunities for collaboration. But the first collaboration we need to make sure that we're building and growing is in our families. And when we talk about families, we know in our culture, families have a different complexion. Depending on what your values are, your upbringing is, your family can look very different. Your family could be intergenerational. Your family could be same-sex parents. Your family could be extended family. All of those things. Your family could be non-blood relatives. We have to consider, you don't have to do anything, consider that we honor family bonds and family ties. And because of this new village that we're building and we're growing and we're creating, we need to be a little more responsive, respectful of the many different shades that the complexion that families can take right in today's world. And it does take a number of different complexions. So, again, I'm going to give you the 5 R's. If we remember to practice the 6 R's, respect is the first one. And when we're talking about respect, what are we saying when we talk about respect? In your mind, Calvin, when we talk about family, we're talking about respect. What do you see as the meaning of that?
Legacy. You have to respect where you came from, how you was made, where you was made, and the direction of the actual the lineage from which you come from. When you don't have that, right, that's a thing. We have to establish legacies. That's wealth. People, Calvin, you don't have to have wealth. Wealth is not. No, it's a family. And so that's where that respect of the beginning, the father, because we're out of order, right? When you don't have respect, the collaboration in family is damaged. So, you got to understand what that actually means. So,
So, and also when we look at respect, we're talking about a value-based idea. Where your values are helps you to shape what you think respect is or isn't. And so, I remember just kind of growing up in the 80s, it was a big thing about respect. If you stepped on somebody's shoes, you disrespect them. If you bumped into somebody, whether you said excuse me or apologize or not, some people felt that was disrespectful.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the juice.
So I think it's important that we remember and practice the 6 R's. Last time: respect, responsiveness, reassurance, relationship, reciprocity, and reflection. All of these things together help us to have better and stronger relationships, helps us to build trust, and most importantly, helps us to build a sense of wellness. That's within ourselves, and that is also the energy that we give out to others.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
Let's go. Let's get to the juice. The juice.
So, since you're so anxious to jump to the last portion of this conversation,
jump to it.
We want to talk a little bit about some of our collaborations and some of the ways that we are filling in some of those gaps in the spaces where we know we need additional support. In our work, we know that mental health is critical. We know that physical health is critical. And so part of our alignment and collaborations now incorporated, has for some time actually, incorporated a mental health organization that will accept referrals and family members, whether they have insurance or not. So insurance and accessibility to those resources are important, and we are part of that network who can refer people for those services. Whether it's an intact family, some families that may be struggling in the areas that they're struggling, but we have that connection in terms of our collaboration to be able to make that referral to make sure people get the help that they need.
Safe spaces. Rosedale, calling in. Caller, you're on the air.
Hello there. It's Crystal.
What's up, home slice?
Oh, you must have heard your name being sang.
I did not.
What's up, my baby?
Yeah, he was singing your name.
Right, and so I just found out Boog is your cousin.
El Boog?
No, Boogaloo. You don't know Boog. It's Lamar Allen.
Oh yeah, he is my cousin.
Yeah. You don't know him, man. I know him as Boogaloo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I clearly don't know him as that.
Right. Right. He said, "That's my cousin." I say, "Man, that's one of my favorite people in this game." What's up, CG?
Nothing. I had an opportunity to be able to call in. I figured, let me call and give my people some love.
That's right. That's right. Right. Love is what you do, baby.
Love is what I do.
Love is what you do. And I was sharing, right, because we be doing this safe space thing, right? So Rosedale Park Baptist Church, the pancake breakfast this Saturday. And then,
Can't wait.
right? And then New St. Paul Church for the mentoring, right? So when we were talking about collaborations, I was really gone. Like, we've been collaborating. But,
exactly. For years.
For years, right? But the people, it's the people who look with one lens, right? That only want to see one lens, right? So that's just, we're going to leave it there. But you're talking about work, right? And we talk about work, like I was sharing, Better Detroit Youth Movement, right? How we come through that. The church on the east side, that Chosen Ones Recreation, like collaboration is what we did, right? And because we had no choice. Right? We had no choice. In order to learn, you had to have collaboration. So now here we are with this collaboration. And so I'm glad you called in, Crystal. Thank you.
Uh-oh.
So,
well, I think we have to collaborate. We're better together. Like, there's so much that needs to be done.
Yes.
As my BFF reminds me often, you can't do it all. So there's so much to be done. The only way we can have better and bigger impact is with collaboration.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what's up. Is a collaboration.
Right.
So you real quiet over there. What's this? Heather, what's this? Get the spitting. What's this right here? What's this Ready Woman Collective and Community Solutions? Who is United? Who is United Community Solutions?
Don't go. You know that's me.
Calvin is on a roll.
Okay, so
He is, apparently.
right. So United Community Solutions. Isn't that Red Dot too?
So yeah, Red Dot falls under that. So there's two sides to the nonprofit. There's AWN Cares and United Community Solutions. So just when we're doing financial literacy, small business, anything that falls under the UCS umbrella, and then the Red Dot bags and a couple other programs fall under the AWN Cares umbrella.
Right. So
We're all the same family. Yeah.
Same family, right? So
Yeah.
people don't know, right? So the Red Dots, when you started the Red Dot, right, we was already in the collaboration with the Business Shower Network. Like,
Right.
So explain what Red Dot, because a lot of people don't understand the need.
So many, many years ago, I read an article that said people don't donate sanitary pads and supplies to shelters because they're expensive. And when you think about it, the things that we typically donate are things that we no longer need. So coats, shoes, purses, whatever, right?
Right.
And so no one's intentionally going out to get sanitary supplies and donating them to organizations. So I started doing that. And then, years into that, the women of AWN, they upped the game on it. And it just became this whole thing. And so the Red Dot bags, and we come together to pack bags. We have packing parties to pack bags that we now give to organizations who service women in need. And so when you talk about the need, if you remember back in 2020, pandemic year, right?
Right.
And they would show you on mainstream media, you would see all of these cars lined up almost like at an amusement park waiting for food.
Right.
Well, that's the same population that needs sanitary supplies.
That's right.
And so, somebody would say, well, sanitary, but they're expensive. And then you have things happening like after that, they wound up saying, okay, well, they switched the law that you can use your HSA card, your health savings account, to purchase sanitary supplies. Well, that was a noble effort. However, the people who need supplies, they don't all have they don't all have those type of benefits.
Right.
So it really didn't, again, help the people who needed it the most. And so it has gone from just giving supplies, which there's a huge need, to also, because I lead with finances and everything, there's also an economic component where we want to, teach you how to fish so that you can buy your own supplies, but also teach you the fishing industry so that you can feed your community. Right.
All right. So we in the ball game with United Community Solutions. Where can they donate to?
So if you want to donate, please donate. We have another packing party coming up in May. There's always a need, but you can go to awncares.org, and a few ways. You can always volunteer your time. You can make a one-time monetary donation, or, which I would love for people to do, is join one of the giving circles where you can give from anywhere from $5 to $50, and you pick how often you want to give that, from annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly. Again, from $5 to $50, and that way it keeps coming in, and it can continue to help us fuel and deliver products to women and girls in need.
I love that.
Thank you.
You are absolutely welcome. I just man, listen. There's been.
You're not gonna let Heather talk to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna let her talk. She just so hesitant. You know what I mean? Like I'm on 1,000. I've been on this all
Heather
day.
ain't never hesitant.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah, she's never hesitant.
Hi, Crystal. Can you talk about the single mothers? I know I'm messing up the.
Yes. No, I got you.
What's the acronym?
So SMART.
SMART.
So
okay.
It's the SMART initiative, and that's for single mothers are rising and thriving. And it is a really and truly, again, I lead with everything finances, but when you redefine your financial relationship to work in your favor, it positively impacts every area of your life. So it's bringing single mothers together, obviously, again, leading with finances, but it's finances, it is small business coaching, it is helping to heal all type of relationships, including relationships with your children's father if that relationship is not, going well. And it's not for you to necessarily get back with him, but so that you can effectively co-parent.
Right.
And it's just all things, and it really and truly is a celebration of single mothers and building a network of them. And again, getting them into a place where they can collaborate with one another, while just helping them in their elevation to the next level, because single mothers are at the bottom of the wealth ladder, which also means their children are at the bottom of the wealth ladder. So again, trying to break those cycles and those generational cycles. So if we can uplift, empower, and unite single mothers, then we change the lives of them, their children, and generations to come.
Absolutely. And we're on a timeline.
By the year 2053, if the current financial trend continues, blacks will have zero wealth. And that can't happen on my watch. And with everything going on economically in the world, I don't even think it will take until the year 2053.
I agree. And so when we talk about this Ready Women Collective, Calvin.
Yes, dear.
As we talk about this Ready Women Collaborative and who makes up this this level of this collaborative of who we call responsible stewards. It's made up by United Community Solutions and all the amazing thing that comes with Crystal L. Gunn and leading that work. We also are talking about Fearless Minds, Dr. Suzanne Jarrett, Chief Silent Storm, and all the resources that come along with who she is and what she does. We're talking about Your Inspired Journey, Heather Heru, and all the things that come along with the work that's done in that area. We're talking about Good Fathers Only and all of the work that comes with that area. And we're talking about Encourage Me, I'm Young, and all the work that comes with that area. So what we understand is that mothers and grandmothers, women, mothers and grandmothers, hold a lot of the strings right now We are the determining factors about what happens in education because we're the ones in the classrooms. We're talking about the determination of what happens with our families because we are often the single-headed household member. And as Crystal talked about single mothers, we also are part of this generation where grandparents are now raising their grandchildren in more vast numbers than ever before. So when you look at who needs, when you look at who needs these resources, it's women, mothers, and grandmothers to empower our children, especially when mothers and grandmothers are raising sons. We need to pull back. This is one of the reasons why Good Fathers Only is such an essential partner, because we need to graft our boys around other men in our new village. We have to find new ways to build these relationships, and that's what part of what this collaboration is going to do. And again, we are on a timeline. So there is no room for people to sit on the sidelines and watch. When we talk about collaboration, it is a rolling collaboration. When we talked about the village before, it was a rolling effort. You could be passed right down the street when you did something wrong. You could be praised when you did something right. And so we are talking about a rolling, growing, collaborative family, new mindset. How do we do that and do that better so that we are wrapping around those who are most vulnerable, who have the least amount of supports, so that we can help them elevate and teach our kids in the process? It doesn't help for us to do it for everybody. We're talking about everybody has a role to play. We're not talking about a handout. We're talking about linked hands together to lift all of us up. And if we don't think in this way in terms of our new mindset, we all can fall. And it doesn't matter if you are successful, it will eventually roll on your front porch. There's no way to avoid it. If we don't change the trajectory of our children, especially our boys, it will eventually show up on your porch. It will eventually show up on your doorstep, in your foyer, in the back room where your children are. We have to get out of that mindset that it can't happen to me. We're dealing with suicide from boys age 5 to 11. 5 to 11, teen suicide. We're dealing with educational disadvantage. Our kids have so much promise. If we don't draw that out and direct them, we are in bad shape. And again, we're on this 2053 timeline. So everybody needs to be a part of this rolling collaborative effort. There is something that everybody can do. We have to figure out what that is. If you need help figuring that out, then you need to be a part of this Ready Women Collective.
Well, and for that, right, when you say all those things, it's directly connected to the fatherless. And when you look at murder and you look at these things that's impacting these families.
Absolutely.
Right? I said this morning, if you could reverse the 70% from 70% single to 70% married, you're pulling bodies out of that prison system, right? You're pulling bodies out of the caskets. You're pulling bodies out of a number of areas that we should be. There's culturally, we cannot be the borrowed, the tragic Negro. We cannot be the face of tragedy any longer. This is what you've been conditioned to believe. When that has to, this is not for me asking anybody. I'm not asking nobody for permission. So I'm making that clear. I have not. I will not. Right? We're doing this regardless. So either you assist, help, or get out the way, because this is not work that is going to require me to say please, please, please. This is not that work. This is that work for the culture. That's what this is. This is that work that I have every right in my being to assist those who look like me. Everything else I can do and move forward. But everything that looks like me, I can do this. Without asking for permission, without having to say that's what I'm doing. It's what you should be doing. And so this collaboration thing just makes my day, my world so much better, right? Because as I said earlier, Crystal, and I was sharing with Dave and them last night, I had 200 boys by myself.
Right.
So it's not like we talking about success though. So for families,
excuse me,
for us in this collaboration and families, your inspired journey brings something to the table that's very impactful, right? Good Fathers Only, we already kicked off the free membership drive, right? For fathers to get involved, right? Because these fathers, when they sign up, they have to put down what they're willing to volunteer to help with. Right, so now you come in, I'm gonna hold you to it. Like, it's the same thing I tell the parents in the mentoring. This is not you get to drop your son off,
right,
and not get no work. No, we all getting some work because there are no perfect people, and what we have to understand is in this collaboration, it's just about the work. We got to help. And so I am not about to. That was the reason why I dropped that song. Waiting on people. Got to wait on, the time isn't right. Tomorrow I got to be in. All of that. No. Let's go. Because you're already considered marginalized, right? You're already considered in these positions of failure, right? By other people and your people, right? So, man, he ain't got nothing. Man, if you know what I mean? Because you're looking at it from a standpoint of money, and you're not understanding that the money is the people.
The people are the currency.
It's no question.
The people are the currency. And I love the fact that collaborations just make so much sense because it goes back to the old school. It takes a village, and it truly does. And somewhere we've been conditioned to disconnect from one another. And then we're also disconnecting from the very people that are in our household. Mm-hmm. So, there is no, you can pull yourself up by your bootstraps. People are out there suffering in silence. And I say all the time, it doesn't matter how much money you make, right? If we're going to change the trajectory of what's happening in our communities and for the next generations, we got to come together. And I like to look at collaborations wind up being the rising tide that lifts all boats.
Well
Everybody's going to benefit from the thing. But we have to stop being silent, and we have to stop suffering in silence and being embarrassed about whatever the situation is. Come out. It's about elevation, and we have no more time.
We have no more time.
We have no more time.
That's right. But we have all the resource we need.
Yeah, all of them.
All the resource we need within us. And so this call to action, this call to action is for anybody that is listening. You have been called to do your part. Don't be afraid to reach out, which we're going to have some numbers so that you can reach out and step up. This is not to take you away from the work that you've been called to do. This is to align you with people who have the same mindset and end goal. And end goal. Right.
But absolutely, and there's too much work for any single organization to do it. So Don't think, we do something similar. It's okay because it's enough people to impact.
The need is great.
It really is.
Yep. And so I just want to encourage everybody to join us at our pancake breakfast this Saturday. You'll hear more from Crystal. She's one of our speakers and presenters. You'll hear more from Dr. Suzanne. She's one of our presenters. You'll hear more from Antoinette James. You'll hear more from her. She's one of our presenters, speaking on grandparents raising grandchildren, among other things. But all of us will be there. We'll be there to share this community impact. We need your presence there. You need to hear it. Bring your families out. Have a good time together. The best pancakes ever.
Ever. I have my
butter
syrup
pancakes. Right. Right. Come and join us. Fellowship. This is a community pancake breakfast. This is where our community is welcome. This is one of our annual fundraisers. We use this as an opportunity to pour back into the work that we're doing. It basically covers our pancake breakfast.
Right.
So that's where the resources go back into the pancake breakfast itself. But ultimately, come and see what boys who are impacted by mentoring and by this new village mindset and by people who care, come and see what they look like. Come and see how empowered they are. Come and see the difference that this work makes in their lives. Come and see the joy. Come and see how much community means to them. How much, let them serve you. See what that's like and see, because we have boys from 8 to 24 in our program, which will be soon shifting to include boys 3 to 7 in our program, because we also know that's in our Boy Steps program. We also know that this work starts by age 3. It's really at birth, before birth, but we are starting this next iteration of this work at age 3, because remember, boys 5 to 11 are highly impacted by suicide. They are dying by suicide. So we have to continuously get ahead of the trends that are happening so that we can understand how to impact them. We have found that language, literacy, and reading is one of those influences that drive our boys by age 4 toward the pipeline versus their promise. That cannot happen anymore. There are enough of us, whether you're educators or educated, whether you're a parent, whether you're a grandparent. Again, this is our collaborative. This is where there is room for us to collaborate. Let's go. Get off the sidelines and let's get to work.
So,
And what year is this that you've been doing the pancake breakfast?
this is the 11th year. The first 3 Z, right? The third, right? So this is the 11th year.
And it's phenomenal. I think there'll also be vendors there as well.
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
But to come in and to see those young men, to see those young boys serving the attendees and running their program the way I've seen them do it before, it's just a wonderful thing to do. So even if you don't like pancakes, come out and support the young boys.
Right. And you can also
You don't like the
donate.
pancakes.
You can also donate. So
Yes.
that's another way to support it.
Always donate, because I'm getting ready to ask for a whole lot of money. So y'all might as well get ready to get your donates up.
Now get your donates up.
Yeah, you get your donates up over here. Right? Because, again, here we are, and it's that moment, and it's that time, and that space. So, Crystal, tell everybody where they can reach you at.
UnitedCommunitySolutions.org or crystalgun.com or awncares.org.
That's right. Heather?
You can reach me at my website, which is yourinspiredjourney.com, Your Inspired Journey. Or you can reach me by phone. Call me. Please don't instant message me on social media. Please call me or visit me on my website. That would be 313-759-7855. Again, 313-759-7855. Thank you.
So with that being said, you can reach me at calvintman.com. Of course, you should know by now, emmyworld.com, right? And emmyapparel.com. So it is just, it feels so good, right? Loving somebody when somebody loves you back. My God. Right? when you look out and for years and moments, and I share this because I think it's important, I realize the calling that I was in, that it didn't have nothing to do with nobody else. It had everything to do with what I had to do. And I realized that it wasn't going to come the way that it came for everybody else. And here we are. Crystal has been around. Heather wrote the first program. Crystal has been around since probably 2011, 2012. Came over on Schoolcraft at 2013. And has been a helpmate through this vision. These women have always collaborated with me. In the process of going forward, we saw the need for the community. And here we are doing it again. Right? And we're doing it with the least of us. Imagine if it was the most of us. And we understood that every child, every family, every father, every mother had value. Imagine what we would look like then. Imagine where our children could go out and play and not be concerned. Imagine a young man being protected because when someone saw him in trouble, everyone was there. Imagine valuing every black life. That has been my life. I've not undervalued not anything that looked like me. I haven't undervalued any child that came into my path. And I will not undervalue this collaboration. It is on, and whatever we got to do to make it pop, hop, and jump, we gonna do it. Because at the table is God-fearing brilliance. My name is Calvin Mann. God bless you and encourage me. I'm young. Peace. Yeah, baby.